Man, y'all know the face, y'all know the name, man. Talk to me nice, don't talk to me at all. I got a special guest with me. Guest, introduce yourself, brother.
What's good, everybody? It's James the Third.
Alright.
You gotta add some sound effects in this.
Oh yeah. We gonna try and we gonna spice this up when it's go time, you know. It's real special, it's real authentic. You tuned in to talk ain't cheap, you know what I mean?
Talk is not cheap.
It's not, and I don't think people understand. Outside of my name being clear, it's real talk. I ain't cheap. My time valuable, as well as there's always gems and everything, you know.
Man.
So that's why I decided to do that. I felt like I have my own little voice when it comes to conversation, and I was like, let me bring my own little flavor to this lifestyle, you know. And what are we naming this episode? What do we decide on this title for this episode?
For the people who don't know, me and Cletus, just got in the lab or whatever. We're trying to figure out a song. We're about to mess around a sample, and I was trying to figure out how to work it through this device I have. So I was like, whether or not I use the device, I'm still gonna sample this shit. So we're gonna call this episode
I'm still gonna sample this shit.
Right On.
Alright, dope. I like that title. I think the concept is hard. I think we gonna have something special. So for those who may not know you, man, tell them a little bit more about you. What do you do? What makes you special? What's your dreams, goals, aspirations?
Well, firstly, I'm a black human being named James III, and I'm from Los Angeles. I make music, but I don't just make music. I try to when I go into making things, it's a feeling. It's more so of I don't feel like it's all of my energy. It's my energy combined with the people who are around me and a higher source of energy. So going into making music, it's not, I don't feel like a me thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, with anything you do, you're pulling from a higher ether source who's in charge, and whoever you believe in, that's what I believe is what pushes you and gives you the ideas and aspirations to do whatever you're doing. For me, it's music, and I carry that. I go to here, Grambling, and I'm just trying to finish, get my degree, because a lot of days in hip hop and just entertainment in general, people be thinking yo, you don't need college, you don't need I wouldn't say you don't need anything, you know what I'm saying? Something's always useful.
Yeah.
It's just different strokes with different folks, some people go to school and you acquire information there, and some people acquire it from the streets, you acquire it from if you're under somebody's wing or at your job, whatever. So I'm using the school as a resource to push me ahead.
So who was the first person to really tell you yo, education is really going to be that X factor? Because what you're doing is really skill based. You really don't have to go to school for it.
True.
But there's a reason. Obviously you said that you acquire knowledge. Who was the one that implemented that kind of belief system in you?
For sure, my dad went to James Key II. He is the alpha, started the fraternity at California State Northridge, where he got his degree, then went on to Howard and Princeton. So education was super imposed on me as from a youth. I can remember being maybe 3 or 4 years old. My dad has me in there reading oh my god, the Invictus poem and just advanced literature at a super young age. So he was big on go to school, go to college, get your degree. And at first it still is kind of a struggle for me, because you're right, it is skill based, and I don't necessarily need to be in school. However, I feel like you can acquire information, and just for me being here was I've gotten better. From when I first entered in Grambling, and my ideas on how I approach music, and now how I go into make all what you see in here is acquired, from knowledge, from experiences, from I don't know, people. I've learned so much, and I've become a different person with music and just life,
That's dope. So where are you at right now when it comes to your music? Where are you getting your creativity from? Where are you getting inspiration from?
I'm drawing it from a lot of places, honestly. I'm drawing it from, people, conversations, and the feelings I get going through my day-to-day life, like, I don't know, like, it's always been like that for me. You know, some people can be like, I make 50,000 songs a day, I make all this music a day, and it's like, for me, I mean, at one point I was making a bunch of stuff, but now I'm like in a place where it's like, all right, let me just spend some time on it and spend some time actually being a person, socializing and talking. And, you know, for a while, the last 2 years has been me like on some super recluse shit, like not even speaking. I don't go outside, Earl Sweatshirt type shit. Like,
you already know.
But I don't know, like, it clicked. Well, really, this year I was having a rough time creating music. Like, it wasn't as natural as it was before, as fun as it was when I first started making it.
Why is that? Like, what about this year created that barrier for your creativity?
I felt like it was pressure on me and expectations as far as, like, you know, my camp and stuff like that. Because we're coming up in Los Angeles right now, and it's a lot of good people that's coming up at the same time. And you see, just for me, I was kind of battling with, like, you see people on Instagram and they're doing their thing, and, like, you know, you're looking at what you're doing and it's like not what they're doing, and it's like, well, damn, do my accolades really count? And I really stopped giving a fuck about accolades when it got to like the middle of the summer. I'm like, yo, what am I competing for? Like, I'm good. I know I'm gonna be straight. You know what I'm saying? If I keep doing me and just continue to do me, I'm gonna be good. You know what I mean? So, like, that shit, bro, when that shit happened, my creativity came back. Like, the want to do music came back. The inspiration to want to get on the computer and just look up sounds and be a part of sounds. I end up getting this thing, and, like, no, I've been here and I've been back into it again. So that's what's been up with me as a creativity lately.
That's beautiful, bro. I could feel that completely. So, as a producer, what do you feel is like the first thing that you, as a producer or any producer, should like focus in on when they look at their craft or approach their craft?
For producers, because right now I feel like in music a lot of the stuff sounds the same, and it's hard to differentiate a producer's sound. I feel like they're giving that up because of what people are interested in today. Like, I went to sleep last night thinking, like, yo, I hate type beats. I hate type beats.
Like the ones that's on YouTube?
Yeah. Because think about it. Like, if you're an artist, you're on the computer and you're looking for beats, you're looking for a type of beat another person would rap on. So you're in a sense saying, I want to make a song like him. Yeah. Like, there's no individuality. You know, and I'm big on individuality. Like, even me, when I was young in middle school and shit, like, I never wanted to dress how everybody else was dressing. Never wanted to, like, everybody else was wearing, like, J's. They were super hype on J's. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get some Kobe's. Like, I didn't want to be like the crowd, what the crowd wanted, you know? So, like, with producing, I try to do things that's gonna set me apart as far as sound, as far as decisions on drums, compressing and making sure my beats sound full, you know, ready. I don't want to make a type of beat somebody, like, of course I have stuff that Kanye would rap on, or I could hear Jay-Z on and stuff like that, but it's still me. You know what I'm saying? It's not a type of beat, a type of song they would do. So for producers out there, I feel like what's gonna make you good and what's gonna get you placed and what'll make people like you is if you do things that's you and that they've never heard, you know?
I feel that completely. Okay, I like that. I could rock with that. So let's talk music. When did you decide that this is what you want to do? Like, how did you even fall into this?
As far as recording or just like
producing
music in general?
Or music, recording, etc.
Well, I was playing the piano when I was like 7.
Okay.
And it started, drums at 2. And
no, you were playing the drums at 2? 2.
Yeah, I remember I got my first drum set for Christmas. 2 years old, and I was making all types of noise throughout the house. And that's where it started. Like, I was actually pretty good for like 2 years old, I knew how to stay on beat. And I feel like that's majority of what, you know, rhythm is. So I had that, and then I started playing like classical piano at 7 years old, like Beethoven, Bach, just all the classics. And from there, I learned like kind of basic. And I was playing by ear too. So, like,
so you wasn't classically trained?
No. They would try to like put like the sheet music in front of me, and I would just hear it a few times and mimic the sound. I stopped playing after I turned like 12, and I just started focusing on basketball. And that threw me off, and I got back into like playing keys around high school, like freshman year. And from then on, I was meeting people. Like at that time, because my dad's in the military, so we moved around a lot. Even though like our home base was always Los Angeles, but we moved around. And I was living in DC, and they have go-go music out there. I
love go-go.
Yeah. They were like trying to get me into being this go-go band. I can remember that. That was my first experience with like a band, like working with a group of people musically.
How was that for you, being that you're like an introverted kind of person?
Yeah, it was wild. You know, what's crazy is, all right, in DC, like those people out there, like they're hood. They're a real hood. Like the go-go people. If you know anything about Southeast DC, you know that like the type of people they're not no punk people. Nah, like they're serious, and it was wild for me to see all these like hood niggas like really playing instruments good as fuck, like on the drums good as fuck, doing like shit I've never heard before, like as far as cadences go. And it was like, yo, this is ill. And I remember I came to a few of the practices and did a show, and that was like one of my first events. Putting myself out there with music. And then later on, I would meet one of the dudes from the group. Was like, yo, I have a studio. And like I remember the vibe it was when I went to link with him in the studio, and it was almost like, damn, I want to recreate this on my own though. Like some of the shit it was good shit, but it wasn't like shit that I was, you know, known or had an idea to create. So then I would move on to Los Angeles, and I went to Performing Arts High School.
Okay.
And I was learning music production there, and the same people, like I'm Sid, the kid from the internet. She was going there like 2 years before I got there, and she was like, we had the same music engineering teacher who also taught like, who else came that? B2K, all of them, like they went through like,
wow,
the same engineering professor. And my experience there, that's when I really got into like making beats. I got Logic and Reason. I first started fucking with Reason, and then just like kept advancing and learning things. In that class, I learned how to use every software. So like that's why it's not foreign to me to like work with other people. I'm like, they got Pro Tools pulled up, I can work with that. They got Logic pulled up, I can work with that. Ableton, all it.
What's your software choice?
Right now it's Ableton.
Ableton?
Yeah.
What's the difference between like an Ableton, a Logic, and a Pro Tools? Because I know when I work with a lot of artists, their go-to is Pro Tools. Like that's becoming like the industry standard.
Well, it is the industry standard, and it's been the industry standard since like 2001 when Britney Spears did her album. And it's like, you know, I fuck with Pro Tools when it just has, for me, like the DAW has a natural sound, like a warm sound, and I fuck with that. But it is intricate and complicated. Like I remember when I first came to Grambling, I was working with my homie Go Boy, and we were using that, and it was nice to see how it was structured. But it's to a foreign person who's just getting into engineering, it's like you don't want to start like with Pro Tools first. That shit is complicated. But I feel like the most user-friendly DAW, if you know artists is trying to like get their kick out there, fuck with Logic. Logic is super user-friendly. It's cheap. It's only like $200, and you know it comes with a lot of loops. You can, and if you had a Mac, its little brother is like GarageBand, so you fuck around with GarageBand and get good, get Logic, and it has just more shit, and you can do more. You can have more tracks, I think, yeah. And you can do VSTs. You can upload VSTs to Logic.
So what is a VST for someone who may not be a producer or a music person?
A VST is essentially a plugin with like a third-party plugin that's used to create sounds, different sounds than what your DAW already comes with. So like your DAW may have like maybe 3 or 4 synths that their company brand makes. And the VSTs are just more that different companies outside of your DAW's company that create sounds and stuff. And I'm super big on VSTs. I fuck with Splice. I get like a lot of VSTs and things. You want to put this right here?
No, we good, bro. I just, yeah, because we in here. So tell me about your setup. You got a lot of records on the walls.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? Or does everyone have like its own like unique story behind it?
Each of them have a unique story behind it, but my favorite will have to be the Frank Sinatra one right there, Sentimental Journey. I remember, I'm a super huge Frank Sinatra fan.
Really?
Love Frank. And I remember, because I love gangster movies and just that whole like 1930s to 1950s like mob life.
Like Scarface and stuff like that.
Godfather. Love the Godfather.
Huh.
So it's like Frank Sinatra in my head is like one of those is the forefront. And Sentimental Journey was my first Frank Sinatra album I bought with my own money. And that's the one I played the most in high school. But each of these I collected from my junior year of high school to really my freshman year of college. I stopped collecting then, only because I'm broke.
Yeah, I already know it.
But each of them have a story. Each of them. My second favorite will probably have to be. It's the Eartha Kitt album. I played that a lot too.
Really?
I cannot find it though. Sentimental Journey's right there though, and Eartha Kitt is probably around here somewhere. But I sampled Eartha Kitt. That was one of my first samples I was doing. I had this little like DJ thing, and I was trying to like fuck around with it. It was a shitty beat, but it came out. I liked the sample, the song in general, and yeah. So the pictures, they represent moments in my life. Like 2 of my homies passed away while I was here, really close, some best friend type. Like my homie Skylar, and I have him like up there, and if I try to keep him like in front of me, so like when I'm working, I can like look up and remember what I'm doing this for, because we were all in the studio together. He's right there. All in the studio together. At one point he passed while I was at school, and it was just like ever since then it was like this is no return type of shit. Like I'm not about to stop doing music. That's
crazy.
Yeah. And,
so music kind of helped you cope with it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I remember when we got the news, we were like at the Bayou Classic and shit in New Orleans, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Broke down. But I remember we came back and I was just like on the beats every day. Like from that day, I didn't take a break making music. I made music every single day, all the way up until this past summer.
So what happened this summer that kind of stopped that progression?
Well, part of it was like just doing a lot of it. Like I wore my ear out, I think, like from making shit. Mind you, like from 2016 to like 2018, it's like 2 years of just constant making beats, constant doing songs, constant writing every day. I just felt like I needed a break, and the funny thing was I wasn't the only one that was feeling this in my camp. Like my other homie who's in garage sessions with me, Lux Wade, like we were talking one day, he was telling me like, yo, you need a break, bro.
Yeah.
You just chill. Part of you having a hard time is coming from that. And I was like, you know what, bro, you're right. And that's when I started like, taking a break away from music for some of the summer, but I still wasn't completely breaking away from music because I was having bigger sessions with more other artists, and like it wasn't really a legit break. But now, like being back in school, I've took time for music. Like I'll do pieces of it in a day. Like I'll lock in from like after class, which is around 1 or 2, lock in all the way maybe about 6 or 7, break, go to the homie's crib, play 2K, get my mind away from music, come back to it maybe a few days later, or some, like the last week, I didn't have no music. I wasn't doing any music throughout the week. And I had sessions on that weekend. So like from Friday to Sunday, I was doing music and still in pieces of the day. So it wasn't like completely engulfed in music. But when I do come in, when I do that, like it gives me a break. It gives me a fresh ear. So it's like I'm coming back in to create, and I got new ideas. I got new things I want to try out because I've been researching shit. Like I really like researching those like rap genius producer shits. Those just is hard to me.
Do you think that producers are the new artists these days? And when I say that, I'm thinking like Metro, Mike Will, Zaytoven. These people, these figures in the culture are basically making the artist better. They are the artists. If a lot of artists don't have these kind of producers and these kind of beats, they'd be basura, trash, garbage.
Oh, definitely. Like you can make a case and say that for sure. Like I feel like there's a lane for producers out there now. Like there's like I don't know if you're into like the Boiler Room type of thing. Mm-hmm. Like I hope one day I get on that shit, but those things, the selection realm, there's a realm out there, and it's like now finally producers are starting to be as big as the artists, and it's like beautiful to see, because you know I feel like they're doing a lot of the groundwork behind. Like don't get me wrong, artists are hard. Like when you get up there and you're writing your shit every day, like the artist side of me is just like, it comes out in phases, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to like really just pull out you every time and give it out to the world. But I feel like producers, a lot of times, it's some producers out there that's making like 15 beats a day, 20 beats a day, like every day. And like I have mad respect for that shit. Like, even if it is trap, even if it is like something bad, you still set aside time and tracked out 15 beats that day. You know what I'm saying? Like kudos. But yeah, like now there's lanes out there for them. Like it's not just how like you would have to really go dig for research on who created this beat. Producers have their tags on everything now, so you can hear them on the track. I feel like DJ Khaled was one of the first forefronts of those dudes. Lil Jon, firstly, was like one of the first people that you screaming out his name. This the business. All them dudes like
Arab music, Arab music. On DJ Clue, used to do what he was doing. There's a good amount of people that would make really
showing their tags and like opening the door for people like Pierre Barnes. Metro. And, who's the other guy? Sunny Digital. Like
Sunny doesn't get a lot of credit, but Sunny's a GOAT. He's dope.
He's hard. And I
Swiss Beats.
Like you know what I'm saying. But my icons who I'm looking up to as far as producers wise, like, cause people they go into making beats, like I said, like those sort of type beat type of shit. But me, like who I'm looking for inspiration from, my idols is like Mind Design and Knowledge and Flying Lotus.
Flying Lotus is by far one of my favorite producers, and K Tronada.
K Tronada's dope.
K Tronada too. I feel like Flying Lotus and K Tronada though, if I had to pick. And I love Disclosure.
Disclosure's ill.
A lot of people don't talk about Disclosure. I think they're German or something like that. But I love those. Are like, not I want to say my top 3, but if I had to say like people that I could just listen to their beats and just listen to them and appreciate their genius, I that's just me. Like I appreciate everybody, but I think it's just like it's something different about their beats. Yeah, like their beats are songs in itself.
Yeah, I like, and then that's what I like. That's what I like, being able to listen, and when I have my headphones on, it feels like a trip. Like I feel like I'm somewhere else besides here. Like I love K Tronada and International Girl. Like that shit. Like if you play that shit in your car, you can hear how the snares are just like panned left and right. So it feels like you're inside the music. I love that shit. Like I listen for shit like that, and I'm a hard critic on music. Super hard. I don't like a lot of people. Like any of my homies will tell you like I don't fuck with a lot of rappers that's out. A lot of them.
So what's your so who are your favorite rappers right now? Like, who do you listen to?
People who is making me surprised, because I don't like the new wave of shit. But the people who I've been listening to, who I feel like are creative, for sure, Trippie Redd. I love Trippie Redd.
Trippie's dope.
He's hard. He's
dope.
hard. Like his decisions on his melodies and shit is ill. I would love to work with Trippie. I fuck with Kodak.
Kodak is dope.
Yeah.
Kodak actually is really dope.
He's deep as fuck. If you really listen to like what he says, like if you go back like go deep into the mumble rapping and shit, like you'll be like, oh fuck, like this is what you're saying. This is what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, who else? X.
I love XXX. Jocelyn Flores is probably one of my favorite songs.
One of my favorite songs this year. Like during that whole phase of my like going through shit, like, I was playing that song a lot.
What about Travis?
Travis is my idol. Like
I could already know.
Flame. Oh my god! Like the whole, the whole fucking Astro. And it was like, cause I have a project I'm working on. I'm gonna play it for you at some point. But to some point during this. But like, I had an idea of it, and I thought like he was gonna just like, cause we were kind of like thinking on the same waveform. I feel like, and like I had to prolong my project, cause I was like, yo, he was almost on the same shit as me. But like he did this like, I'm going for a more spacey approach, and he really like stuck with the theme of the carousel and that amusement park, like, you know, type of, I don't know, theme or whatever.
That's interesting, because I never thought about it in an amusement park like approach. Like I listened to it as what it was, a really good project with a lot of good hits that make you feel good.
Yeah.
When I looked at the Astro World, I didn't really look at it as like a ride kind of thing, but it could make sense. And if you now putting two and two together, it makes sense.
Like if you listen to the song and how they're structured, how each song goes into the next one, flows, like there's the flow of each song. It was made like that. It's made like for roller coaster. Like if you listen to Astro, I want to say it's Astro Thunder. Yeah. And then you go into no, you can't save me, not at all. So like I love that transition between those two songs, like the flow through the album. And or if you listen to like starting from the top, if you listen to like, what's the one with Drake?
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, out like that song, and then you keep going. I feel like that's like the incline of a roller coaster. When you first get to an amusement park, and the first ride you ride, and it's the hardest ride, but then you get to like Yosemite, and it's just like,
that
damn,
whole project was
what the fuck?
Like, nah, you right. You know what I like about projects like that? It's the attention to detail, like what you said, because I felt like Trap Soul and Bryson Tiller did something very similar, and it was like not like an intro outro to every song, but it was, and I felt like it made the project sound complete. I think Forest Hill Drive did that too, but I didn't think it was as well done as Trap Soul.
I feel like Forest Hills Drive is J. Cole's best project. I'm not a huge J. Cole fan.
Really?
Yeah, but like I go on air saying that I fuck with Cole and shit. Like my favorite pieces from Cole is like Yours Truly. I love that piece, and like and Forest Hills. But
I like Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
Old Cole.
Oh yeah, so you're a Cole fan.
I wouldn't say I'm a Cole fan. I'm the guy that likes you the most when no one really knows about you. Yeah. And then everybody gets on your dick. It's kind of like,
yeah. But it's kind of like that for me and Drake.
Yeah. Like I'm comeback season Drake.
Comeback, bro. I'm Jimmy Drake. I'm a fan of
the replacement,
Drake.
replacement girl Drake.
Replacement girl, beyond before replacement girl. Like fucking slow it down, Drake. Like he's like I know, like underground. I remember I found out about Drake through MySpace, and I was like in middle school.
That's crazy,
bro. I was a Drake fan, and then when fucking Take Care came out, it was just like, oh my god, everybody's now dick riding.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, when I heard of Drake when Replacement Girl came out, and then after that, he came out with Comeback Season, brand new. He did the song with like Nicholas F. Do What You Do.
Yeah.
And like I was like just a YouTuber. Like,
yes.
I don't think people understand how prolific YouTube, SoundCloud, MySpace was just for the culture.
Yeah. Well, for me, I feel like YouTube was the original SoundCloud, because that's how I was finding out about. Well, MySpace can be in that too, but like really YouTube. How I was like, when I first found out, I heard what was the one Drake song? I heard "Deceiving" on MySpace, and then I was like, who is this Drake dude? Like, it was before you could type in Drake on Google, and then he wouldn't pop up. Like, his face wouldn't even pop up on images like type. Like, and so I was that big of a Drake fan, and before all the hype, and that's what the kind of the sound I like, going at melodic pads that 40 was using and shit. Like, I incorporate that into my sound for sure. But yeah, like, I remember that shit. Like, YouTube was the shit. Like, how you found out about who was who, and I feel like kind of it's dying out because there's so much music that's coming out now. Like, this Instagram shit. Like, there's no telling. Like, anybody could pop.
So how do you go about getting your music out there then, if that's the case? Because like you said, anybody could pop. Everyone has a social media profile. People are buying followers every day. It's like, how do you get your music out there?
For me personally, that's the code I'm still trying to crack, bro. Like, I got people I know that for sure fuck with me and what I'm doing from my Instagram, and people who really support me. And I feel like I'm building a core fan base, you know, in a sense. But I really feel like this is how I've been telling everybody. Like, I'm holding out on a lot of music. I have over like well over 300, 400 songs.
And are these just beats, or you talking about beats
songs
and songs that you've written and rapped
songs
on?
that I've written, rapped, produced, and engineered.
Wow.
400 just sitting there, waiting for the right moment to come out, and what songs are good enough to come out, and I'm giving out pieces at a time, just like trying to get it out there. So it was really coming up with strategies, and I've been telling people like, yo, I really don't feel like for me, I'm not gonna even speak bad energy. You know? I'm gonna say how my theory of me getting on might happen is on some producer shit, like on some Kanye shit, like end up meeting somebody, producing for them, and working my way up from getting in the door, like from that placement, you know what I mean? Like, and just doing it that way, you dig?
I feel that.
Yeah,
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's kind of like that, you know,
it's a road
reach as I climb kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a boys club, and I try to tell people all the time, like, in anything that you do, there are levels and new devils, right?
Right.
And you need to get a part of the boys club.
Right.
It's like, if you want to be down with Greek life, you got to get down with the fraternity.
Right.
If you want to, you know, get your PhD or whatever, you got to be in academia. You have to be a part of that environment, that network, that boys club. So I'm already knowing when it comes down to just what you got going on, it may take you to be a Kanye West and then be a part of a boys club before you can elevate yourself into a space that now, oh yeah, by the way, I don't just engineer, I don't just produce, I also do this,
my own music and shit, and that's the shit that I've been trying to get to. Like, I've worked with like people. Like, I remember in 2016 I was with my homegirl working with Christina Aguilera, writing for her and shit.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, I know I can make my way in like step by step, but you're right. It's about that boys club. It's about being in the right place at the right time with the right people. You know what I mean? Like, I can be good as all I want to myself, but at the end of the day, like, am I gonna be happy with just me knowing what I can do? No. Like, I really do. Even though I do care about my own sound and care about, like, I don't really care about the accolades. I do want people to hear me. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to be like, yo, he's raw, you know? So, like, and I feel like I did that sort of this summer with the shit we were doing with garage sessions, with making our own shows and putting our own name out on all, you know, by ourselves, you know? And that shit was tight. It proved to me that I really didn't need a cosign. Like, we got a manager, everything, just off the strength us, you know, being at the right place at the right time. Like, Lawrence was working at RCA this summer, and as an intern, and ended up meeting like one of the homegirls, Catherine, who later ended up managing us.
Like, so does she manage the entire collective, or does she manage individuals?
She manages the entire collective, and like along with her, because she has a management team called No Bra Club, and she just started it, and you know she's trying to get it on its feet or whatever. And I'm fine with being like one of the early artists she works with and develops, because I know she has so much room to grow as a manager, and we have so much room to grow as artists. And individually, I'm still looking for like, you know, someone who can work with me, just like, all right, craft and want to, you know, build my brand up myself. I'm still working on that, but like in the meantime, I'm in here every day producing, in here as much as I can to produce and just get done with the school shit, so I can really be out there working with motherfuckers and pushing myself and my name and you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like me working with y'all, like that day I came to link with y'all on some music, I was like, yo, it's not just, I'm not the only person out here that knows about, you know, mixing and engineering and making beats and or has a setup in general, you know. I felt like that was hard, and it was y'all from the south. Well, they're from the south.
Yeah,
so
I'm
like,
from New York. I just got my own shit. You know what I'm saying?
So but I thought that was tight, and I was like, yo, this is shit I'm down to do. I'm down to put my name places, other places and shit. So yeah.
So in terms of the different crafts that you've developed, what do you feel is your favorite? So would you rather be known as the producer? Would you rather be known as the rapper? Would you rather be known as the engineer? Do you not really care for a label? Like, what is the realm that you feel you're the best at?
The realm I feel like I'm the best. I feel like I'm the best when I do all of it at the same time. Like, I feel like sometimes I love working with a lot of people too. Like, I like it when I'm in a setting and I'll have like 2 other artists or 3 artists. This just depends. And I'll make the beat and I'll kind of write some of this shit too. Like, I'll play a role in their writing portions and they'll like contribute. Be ever like, I've been working with my homegirl Kizzy on her album, and it's been that, like, it's been just me, her, and I'm making the beat and the ideas are getting put out there. I may not even mix it all that day, but I'll do a little something to send out, and then I'll come back like maybe a few days later with a fresh mind and just like really hear different things and take things out that don't need to be there and put other things in, play samples and, you know, do a lot of like compression or do some like shit with reverb to fuck with the sound and make it sound different than I originally made it, you know, like just complex shit. A thing that I've learned this summer, I was working with my homie Malaku, and we were just sharing secrets, like what to do as far as production and what makes things cool, like how to make an 808 like go harder and shit. Like, I was just astonished on how much knowledge. Yeah, he's 2 years older than me and been doing music like longer than me, so I was like really just under him and watching how he's doing stuff and like incorporating it with my own sound. Felt like that was dope. And it's crazy because when I go back home, I feel like each of us is advancing in our own ways. And with them, or out here, like, people come in and they'll link with me in the studio, like, yo, you are there, bro, you're there. I'm just like in my head, like, you just don't even know, like, there's levels to this shit that
niggas ain't even tapped into yet. Don't even know what it looks like. I'm already knowing. Niggas think just cause you got some equipment that you there, and it's like, nah, nigga, like, there's a whole different level of talent.
Yeah, bro. People are really, really, really gifted out here. Like, on me, and like the fact that they this year like brought me alongside and was like, you deserve to be here with us, bro. You're hard. I'm like, yo, it gave me kind of a confidence boost. Again, coming back into here and, you know, working with people, being smarter with things. Like, not killing myself, being healthy. That's a main
Talk
key.
about it, bro.
You know, like, a lot of times when you go into like doing this shit, like really the last 2 years, it was not. Well, I guess summer 17 was 1 year I was really being healthy and shit was on the right track. But like, if you're not eating right, if you're just like in here, you're eating once a day, you're only focused, you're not developing as a person, and so it won't. That feeling when you create it, it won't be the same. You know what I'm saying? You're not taking care of yourself in all directions. You're giving too much energy to this, and then you want to talk about certain things, and you can't talk about them because you're not really experiencing. Because most of your time is here, you know? And that shit can be depressing. That shit can be bad for you mentally. Not even just on your body. Like, mentally, you won't be happy. And I know that's something that people have to deal with. Like, people who's dealing with Mac Miller in general, like, people be going through it and shit, and just, you know, you listen to their music and it's really what they're going through. Like, yeah, it sounds good, but like, niggas really struggling. Yeah. And I so relate to that. I so relate. And another reason, that's kind of another reason why I don't release everything, because everything I'm talking about, I'm really going through. Like, every day, it's a struggle. Every day, it's like trying to find that balance between being a person who makes shit and a person who deals and copes with like real life issues and shit, and choosing whether or not to put that shit out, you know? Because essentially music, for me at least, is like a diary. Like, each way how I look at my writings and shit is like a journal entry into the new page. And like, I remember I have this one song, I'm talking like, story starts where the last one ends. Started out cool, now enemies, once friends. Like really opening up a journal like into me. But yeah.
What's the hardest verse you think you've ever written?
Ooh, I was kind of going through one of my homies. We're not on the same speaking terms as we used to be on, but I don't know, like, it's weird. We still my dog regardless, but it's like, you know, you go through things.
It's not the same, yeah.
Yeah, not even just not the same. It's just sometimes your path is just on another path, and you guys may link up again.
Yeah.
But just like the path at the current moment is just not there. We're not there right now. Mm-hmm. So I went in to talk about it as a journal entry, and I was like, let me see if I can remember it. I was like, can't help with these feelings I be evoking. Saw one locked door, the other I bust open. Smart man would gamble and never play again. Somehow I find a way to win through this shitty hand. If I fall, but I get back up. Got my game face on and I'm calling y'all bluff. What's up? Thank you for your far too kind. Graduated from the bull, I flip my tassel to the side. A 4-horse chariot when I arrive. You ride the donkey for the day, and you despise me, I know why. Cause we was in the same boat once before. Life had both turned to shit, but I made a shit ton more. I learned to be an alchemist instead of talking shit about everybody who ain't golden. Man, you ought to hold your mouth. Ultimately, you feel all the pain. That's gotta hurt. Ouch, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him sip. I'm not a teacher. I'm a leader, and I leave you if that means you cause me damage on my travels, cause you broke along the way. Still, I cannot help but for you, cause we both from around the way. And since we always at that table, then we both deserve a plate. Instead, our meals were served, and then we went to go our separate ways. I can't change the way you feel. Life is not a piece of cake. Like,
that's hard. That's hard. You talking your shit. Bro. That's like, real nigga.
It's real, bro. Like, it's like when you really, really go through shit with people, you know. And I'm an introverted person. I feel like a lot of the times, like, I choose my words and who I speak them to, you know, wisely. I have to feel a connection to somebody in order to speak.
That's why
my mind, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it's weird, especially being out here. Bro,
shit, I'm already like, fucking knowing.
People probably analyze me like, yo, this nigga's a fucking weirdo. Like, I already know it. But it's cool though, cause it's like, I don't know, like, I kind of pull from that, and I see what makes other people happy out here. Like, it's been a thing. Like, and I'm sure you've noticed from the difference, because you're from New York, and it's like, you know, intellectual people, like, that's your crowd that you hang with there. Like, that scene is, you know, that's my scene in LA. Like, I'm around the art scene a lot, and those are my go-to people. Like, I fuck with that, you know? But out here, that's not the scene. I don't even have a scene for that out here. And it's like, I can see, I have to like really learn what makes people happy, what makes them, they like to go out there and be turned at
and show face
functions.
and be out there and live on the edge and hope that nothing happens, but if something happens, there's a conversation about it that's gonna be held. And to me, it's just I get where you're coming from, because I'm like, there's things that people do out here I just don't understand. Like I don't care to beef. I don't care to hear music that, like, even the music that in New York, bro, there's so many different kinds of music. Here, you know what you gonna hear, and they gonna hear it for years, and it's gonna be.
It's not gonna change. It's not gonna change, and like that's the thing. Like when you come out here, I was like, damn, they be playing the same songs. I came back the next year, I'm like, damn, they be playing the same songs.
Shit, 2 years later, damn, they still playing the same shit.
Like nothing changed. Like, but you know, they don't. You can't understand change if you don't go through it. Like you don't realize it. Like I can go back home to Los Angeles, and I'm only gone months at a time, like maybe 3 to 4 months at the most. And when I come back each 3 to 4 months, it looks like a brand new LA.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And like when you come back here, it's still the same
thing. Yeah, and I'm the type, like, there's a story that my uncle sent me. Shout out to my uncle in Germany. Amazing guy. I respect him so much. His transformation really helps me out. Sent me a video about a young boy and his father, right? And the young boy, his father gave the young boy a stone, right? And he said, you know, go to the market, try to sell this stone. When they ask how much, just put 2 fingers up, don't say a thing, right? So he goes to the market, some lady likes it and says, I want this stone, how much is it? And he just did what he said, you know, put the 2 fingers up. She said $2, I want to put it in my garden. The boy runs back to his father like, yo, dad, like, you know, this lady wants to buy it for $2. He's like, okay, now son, go and take this to a museum. See what they'll say. Do the same thing I told you. Let me know what they do. So he goes to this museum. The museum guy's like, I love this stone. It's very rare rock. How much do you want? I'll give you $200 for it. Just because he still did the same thing. 2 fingers up, didn't say nothing. Right. He was like, wow, $2, didn't say nothing. Ran back to his father, and his father said, wow, that's crazy. Go try and go to a precious stone store and see what they say. Do the same thing I said. Put your 2 fingers up, don't say much. He goes there and he does the same thing. The guy's like, where did you find this stone? This is the most rarest stone ever. How much do you want for it? Did the same thing, kept it quiet, put 2 fingers up. He said, he's like, I have $200,000, I want to buy it. And the whole premise of this is like how you value your life and your talents. You might be in a place that people don't see that. They see you for $2. But you might go to a place and they see you for $200,000.
That story.
And that's how I've been living my life, bro. Because especially out here, it's very difficult as a creative, as somebody who's different, to really put a price tag on what you bring to people who seem to not have everything. Or not have as much as you come to realize were luxuries. And
it's crazy, bro. Like, I love that story, bro. The hell, that's so relevant to like this place, to this current situation, this phase in life. It's like some people just don't see
the value.
Yeah, and it's crazy because at some point, you know, and I'm not the type of person who holds grudges or nothing like that. It's cool with me, like, but right now it's easier for someone to be like, you know, to overlook you, or the focus just isn't on what you have going right now. It's on something else, which is fine, you know what I mean? But when it's on other things, when it's on that, when you go somewhere else and someone else be like, yo, I really see what you're trying to do. You dig? Like, that's something amazing. That's something tight as fuck, bro.
So what's next for you, bro? What's the next move? What's the end goal? What are we trying to accomplish right now?
At the end, when it's all said and done, I really just want to create a lane for everybody who I've ever did shit with, alongside myself, to really thrive off of, you know, because it's been a long time coming for our camp, a long time coming. Like, everybody that's doing shit, been doing shit. Like my homegirl Erica, I make music with, she used to be on the game, and you know, she's been in the industry before, and homie Steve's been in the industry before, and it's like I'm trying to make my forefront and make myself known worldwide. I want it to be a point where at least most of the shit you hear on Billboard is probably produced by me, written by me, or my song.
That's real.
And I want to be. It sounds like a lot, and it sounds like, but I feel like my work is worthy. I do want to be Michael Jackson level. I want to be that huge. I want to be worldwide. You know what I mean?
Do you think that Chris Brown is on that, or had the potential to do that, but because of the legacy that he had, or the relationship he had with Rihanna, kind of toiled his legacy?
I feel like Chris Brown originally was set up to be our Michael Jackson. I do. But I just feel like under the circumstances, which it's funny because the circumstances of his case and Michael Jackson's charge, I feel like Michael Jackson prevailed through that. Chris just I won't say let us down, but like I feel like when you're constantly being pressed and pushed like he was so young, you know what I'm saying, that fucks with him. Like Michael Jackson didn't get any of those type of shits like thrown on him till he was like late 20s 30s. Yeah. So like he was a man kind of going through that shit, which is different. Like Chris was dealing with that at 16, 17, 18 years old, and that shit was tough on him and his career and wanting to push it out. And you gotta think, I feel like it's kind of more acceptable now to go through shit like that. Like people only hang on to things for a certain amount of time based off how fast they get information. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Bill Cosby just went to jail, right? For the shit he did years ago. And it's the big thing right now, but like next week there'll be something. Yeah. And people gonna forget about Bill Cosby.
I don't want you to give me your opinion, you know what I mean? But I do want to know, what is your take on the whole Bill Cosby thing? Because it's weird for me. It's touchy for me because it's like there's Bill Cosby, the legacy he built for himself, and the thing and the doors he opened. Yeah. But then there's Bill Cosby of like the what if he really did it? But then we also know what it's like to be a black man with power anywhere. Like, all right, if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it.
Let's go.
So Bill Cosby, right? Powerful man. First man that we really saw in the position that he is on black media. On media as a black man, right? Portrayed himself as a black doctor with a lawyer wife, and showcased fatherhood on television. Yeah. And not just his kids, but you know, his kids, or the random kid that would come through, and he was comedic. Then also you got a different world, supporting HBCUs, you know, all the movies,
giving back to Howard. He's giving millions,
and I think just all the doors he's opened up, right? But then at the same time, I also look at the end of the day, he's still a black man. And then I look at
the end of the day, he's still a man.
Period. But let's talk about a black man in Hollywood, right? And the fact that no matter what you say, it's kind of like, yo, and I'm not saying if he did or did not, like he's convicted, so that in the court of law he did it. It is what it is. But let's say, like, let's just be unbiased as hell, and let's just talk about it in like a real nigga state. No matter who you are, black, white, Asian, money, no matter what, at that time, if he was really doing shit, he was going to go down. Don't matter who you are. I believe he was super powerful, but 30 years, 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, and we talking about he's 81, so he's doing shit at 71 years old. Like Donald Trump is doing wild shit, and he not getting crucified.
And that's what. First and foremost, my opinion on it is, I'm right now free Bill, period. First, and it's not just speaking, like, I understand, you know,
you're not discrediting what happened to the victims.
I'm not saying that a woman should be raped and be fine with it. No, that's not okay. However, I feel like the you can only go up in power so much with this skin. It's hard because when you get to the certain level, you look around who's at those tables with you, It's not the same face as you, bro. It's not. And I feel like when you do try to accomplish things, it's much harder. And I feel like none of this shit was really happening until Bill Cosby tried to own NBC.
Is that a fact though?
Yes. He was trying to, he had enough money to either I think be a partner or just be one of the owners of it in general. And I feel like they wasn't trying to allow that shit to happen, so they started fucking Bill over, just like any black man who gets too much in power. Think about it. Michael Jackson, you start discrediting him once,
and then all of a sudden when he fucking passed away, now everybody's like, oh, he didn't, the kid, he didn't do it, he was innocent.
Michael Jackson was about to own Sony.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson was about to own Sony, bro. Firstly,
he's one of the only artists that owned all of his rights
to his music with Prince. You know what I'm saying? These are people who, can't go. Even Obama, when he's trying to pass his health care benefit, a lot of the ideas Obama had never went through because of the struggle that he had just to fight for that health care benefit. You know what I mean? So Bill Cosby's one of those victims to me. Is one of the same people who had a strategy to change and take over and really be one of those prominent black people in our country, and they just super defaced him.
They took all his programs off.
Destroyed him. They took away all his syndication, all the things, his endorsements. I feel like that shit is horrible. And I feel just like with you, how you said Donald Trump. I feel like this is why I'm saying free Bill. I'm saying this because if Bill Cosby goes down for the charge of
all the
70 women coming out saying that they were raped on some Me Too shit, right? Then the woman that's coming out saying that Donald Trump raped them, and on the same Me Too movement, he should be facing that. He shouldn't be I feel like just because he's the president, it shouldn't be that. No, let's bring this to the fan.
Harvey Weinstein, all these niggas.
Let's bring it. Yeah. Let's bring it. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna talk about it, talk about it. Put him on trial too. That's how I'm coming. Just because they try to really discredit how Bill Cosby even came out. Even with his show, just like you said, he was one of the first shows that showed not no ignorant shit on Good Times
time television,
poor as fuck in a black community. Bill Cosby was staying in a nice community. On the Cosby Show, it showed us a lawyer and a doctor married together with kids in a lasting relationship, and teaching them values. Teaching them values, you know what I mean? That shit to me was, I feel like a good. I remember being young, watching that shit with my peoples, and this is an ideal black couple, So.
And representation is so important, and people never really think about that. And when you deface the one programming that kind of showcase good, positive black family values and representation, it kind of hurts a little bit
on everything, because just based off what the example they were trying to set from that show on how other people view black people. You know what I'm saying? They could watch Good Times, and for a person who's never seen a black person before, they could be up there and are you keeping your head above water? Mm-hmm. Are you hanging in a child line? That whole theme song is just ignorant. I can't fuck with the ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? Be associated with. I hate it when us as black people, we go out places sometimes and we're super erratic about shit. And you say, for example, you go to a restaurant and somebody orders something and it's cold or a little bit. I hate shit like that. Mm-hmm. I hate that shit because it just doesn't make us look. It's a proper way in handling things. You know
I agree.
What I'm saying? And other people already view us a certain way, so you're giving them more fuel to view us a certain way. I can't be for that. And I know it's a lot of people on my Instagram probably saying if something's wrong, I'm gonna speak out about it. Yeah, for sure, speak out about your issue.
Yeah, no one's discrediting the fact that, like I said, it's not even so much if they did it, whatever. It's if you got raped, X, Y, and Z, yeah, do it. It just sounds too coincidental right now.
Right. You know what I mean? Like for all right, all of a sudden 70 women come out, you know what I mean? Like I just don't feel like that type of shit adds up to me. Like I feel like maybe a good portion, and Bill Cosby may well have, you got to play the odds at this point, you know, since out of 70 maybe one, but like at the end of the day, I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that, damn, if this happened then why is it coming out now?
I get it.
You know,
and I don't think people really understand it. They like, oh, you're a rapist, something, and sympathizing. It's not that. It's just like, use your common sense. Like, man, think about it. I don't know a lot of people ever in life that has done something and gotten away with it for like 20, 30 years.
For that long?
No matter how much money.
Come on, man. Like somebody has to say, you're gonna say something. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't believe that
70
out of 70 now, like out of everybody now.
He's 81 years old.
It's just like for like if you were in middle school and you slapped 20 kids and now they tell the teacher, like, what? Why?
And that's what scares me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm petrified for when I get to my success. Like, I'm not petrified, like I'm going to prepare for it to the best of my ability. But I know in my heart, I don't want to put negativity out in the universe, but just how people are and how hurt people are by people's positivities and successes, man. Don't be surprised, a girl that you was kicking at, that you probably curved 20 years down the road, go back, oh yeah, he did this and these are receipts, and you don't even remember because that's like 20 years ago.
They got receipts. That's crazy, bro. And that's why I say, like, especially being here, bro, I'm on some low key shit. Like, people always come up to me here and like, yo, you go here? And it's like, yeah, but the reason why I do that shit is because you gotta know when you have something ordained over your life that you want to do and that you have gonna achieve. Like, some people cannot take success, right? Some people can't take your success. They really can't. They really thrive on, like, they'll say they fuck with you, they care about you, they support you and shit at the end. But at the end of the day, people really be out here having built up animosity on some like no reason shit. Like, why do you feel why can't you take the fact that I'm doing well, sort of thing, you know? And even Cletus, for you, like, I'm sure people come out there and like want to be a part of what you got going and shit like that, but just like not with a pure heart, you know, like not people not coming in there with good intentions, like they just want to use you, sort of thing. Like,
I already know.
That's what you gotta stay away from. I really peep that shit from hanging around, like some of my celebrity friends. Like, people just come around because they want to be around. Like, they just want to take a picture. They want to get clout from you. It's just not the wave, bro. Like, I feel like I'm big on genuality. Like I said when we first started the conversation, you're a person who I would have these conversations with without mics, you know?
That's 100.
And that carries, like, moving forward, you know? That's just something I feel like personally plays a big part in, you know, people, man, hanging out with people and shit like that. So,
especially when it comes to like these women.
And that's the main thing. Like, it's scary who you fuck with, because you never know why they want to fuck with you. Like, that's been my battle with females lately. It's like, I can never like let myself get fully comfortable at all. Never. And I try sometimes, bro. I really do. Like, I really be trying to like give myself and show myself and, you know, be that type of person. But it's like, I can't for my sake. Because at the end of the day, why do you want to fuck with me? That's what I keep thinking. Why? And I feel like, and the answer always comes out the same, like on some either gain or you fuck with the idea of having me, but it's not a pure intention. You know? Like, it's weird. And maybe it's because I'm thinking too much, maybe, but I don't know. That's just a weird situation for me in general. Like, that's how I deal with shorties, and I just gotta keep them at like this even level of friendship, I guess. Like,
It's like always being super transparent or not being transparent enough, but because of, like for me, I'm one of those people that I'm super transparent. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll let you know, like every day, like, hey, Queen, you know, I enjoy this. You cool, but you know, December come around, I'm graduating. Like, and that's after us probably doing some real freaked out shit and her cooking a meal and making sure I'm okay and telling me about her family and telling me about all her relationships.
Getting close and just that whole thing of building a relationship, and it's like, damn, at the end, we're not anything. Thing. And I feel like that's the whole shit, especially girls here in college. Like, they want to find their man here. They want to find the person. They want it to be like love and basketball. You know, you do the college shit and afterwards you get married. And I feel like that's not the case for a lot of people, because think about it. Especially, I'm in undergrad, so it's like, I'm out of here no later than when I'm 22. I still got the rest of my 20s.
That's a fact.
And I don't plan on being settled until like maybe my 30s, like, or late 20s. Like,
I'll be real with you. I don't even know if, like, I don't want to say I'm not gonna get married, but I could be a good husband to some woman, right? But just the way that life is set up, especially in the industries that we're trying to go into,
it's, you know, it's a thing, bro. That's definitely a thing. I feel like some of it is partially from, you know, having that, like, do you really want that? People exploit relationships.
That's a fact.
Like, think about how big of a deal the Drake baby was. That was a huge deal to people, and it's really none of our business. Like, it isn't. Like, whether or not how he wants to raise that kid, it just doesn't matter to us. We supposed to be listening to Drake for music, not his family life, you know? And that's the generation we live in now. Like, whatever you do, it will be exploited, bro. Like, on God. Like, the whole Kardashians thing is off their life, you know? So, like, once somebody fucks with one of them, the whole world sees it. Your business is out, you know? Nothing's really
private anymore.
Yeah, especially for a person like me who's a super private person. Like, the shit that I really go through, I'm not gonna exploit that. Nah, like, you're gonna, and that's what people, I feel like, again, look at social media for. On the side, on looking at it, you see people posting all this happy shit, and this is where I was at in my head, like, throughout the summer, was everybody's posting and shit is going so well, and at the end of the day, it's not really going well all the time for anyone. It just looks that way, you know? So,
shit.
That's the shit I've been on, bro.
I feel that. So we go sample some shit? What we about to do?
Hell yeah, I'm ready to work, bro.
Alright, let's sample some shit, bro. So what are we about to sample? That's a better question.
Well, you said Billy Stewart.
Shout out to my man Billy Stewart. Right. Cause you know where it came from. Billy Stewart has a song with Jay Electronica sampled.
Word. Are you serious?
Yeah, but Jay Electronica and Fab with the exhibit. I want to say Exhibit A. That Lord hear me, Lord, please send her to me. Cross my heart and I love her. That's Billy Stewart, right? So, yeah, bro. That's Billy Stewart. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is this guy? This is like the greatest sample I've ever heard for like Exhibit A. Like, Jay Electronica is like by far like one of my...
Jay Electronica is hard. He went here.
Jay Electronica went here?
Swear.
No, he didn't.
With him?
Don't tell me that.
Here.
Jay Electronica went here. He went to Grambling State University.
Played in the band, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jay Electronica.
Jay Electronica.
So is that how him and Erica got together?
No, it's not actually. I think he came after her. I want to say he came after her. But Erica was here first, for sure.
That's cool. Why doesn't anybody know these things?
Bro.
Yo, Grambling need to hire me, bro.
Me, like, no one knows. E40 went here too.
Oh, yeah, I already knew E40 went here.
Yeah.
But Jay Electronica, I did not know Jay Electrolysis went to Grambling State University. Jay
Electronica came here, bro. And, you know, that's a super low-key thing. But that's, yeah.
And he's arguably one of the greatest rappers to ever come out, even though he only has like one project.
Yes, he doesn't even need to. He's Rockefeller's secret weapon. Like, he doesn't. He's so well. Say, I think he's married to like one of the Rothschilds. Or something like
he's to some white woman that has lots of money.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do anything. He's good.
And then Erykah Badu's his baby mama.
Yeah, Like, he has a good life, bro. Like, does he need to drop a song? No. Would it be nice if he came out with some shit? Hell yes.
That's really one of my, like, Exhibit A through C. Man. Like Shiny Suit Theory. Eternal Sunshine. Something to hold on to. Like, I like that guy. Like, he's dope. Yeah, this is the song we're working on right now. Cold winters, hotter summers. Yeah, I like this. So what's the first part of the sample you want to do? Actually, I'm gonna cut this. Yo, remember y'all, talk ain't cheap. Yo, James, sign out, bro.
I'ma sign out, y'all. It's James III. Outro.
Social media if they want to find you.
Social media, of course. James III, JAMESTHE 3 RDDD on Instagram, on Twitter, on SoundCloud, on everything. James III, JAMESTHE 3 RDDD.
So vibe.
Please, I follow back, y'all. I'm not a fake person.
Then keep it locked. We're gonna do something real new, real exclusive. I wanna call it my studio session, and we just gonna we're gonna create together. We in this space, and we just gonna be on some real lit nigga shit.
Oh yeah.
So
as usual. Let's get it.
Remember, talk ain't cheap, niggas.
You're.